Hey, Sean.
Oh, for me. Look at this. Our attempt at Google Autocomplete. Let me see what's underneath this. First, okay. What are green bonds? Well, they're a simple, ordinary bond, just like any other bond, with one particular difference, which is the issuer promises, cross my heart and hope to die, that they will put the proceeds to green investments, green projects or green assets being refinanced. Simple. Anyone can issue a green bond, A sovereign can issue a green bond, a municipality, a bank, a corporate, even your mum could probably issue a green bond if she's creditworthy. So just ask her and see what you think. Let's try the next question. Oh, who issues green bonds? I've covered that already. But there's a lot more that could issue green bonds, because any institution that's never issued a bond in the emerging markets but has a reasonable chance of being creditworthy could have a shot at this. Governments that haven't done sovereigns for ages can do this. We had a bank in South America who hadn't issued a bond for 20 years. Their first bond to market was green. All sorts of people can do this. You can get green retail instruments like term deposits that banks issue. And it's like a savings instrument. It's kind of like a bond. And it goes on and on. Let's keep going. Who buys them? Well, it's incredible how many people are buying them. The level of support for green bonds from institutional investors, from retail investors, from governments, from treasuries, even central banks. There are a few central banks in the world who specifically said they want to buy green bonds and are trying to find them. So the demand is huge. You see oversubscription the norm in this market. In other words, every bond gets 1.5, 2, sometimes 6, sometimes 8 times as many orders for the volume of bond they're offering. Now, of course, that's pretty exciting for a treasurer to try to issue. It's everything. But the biggest investors are institutional investors of various kinds. Pension funds, insurance, government investors, from states in the US of A to municipalities in Australia. It's all over the world. And where there are retail bonds offered, they get snapped up really quickly. It's a simple concept, right? I get a chance to invest in a bond. It pays the same interest rate. It's got the same risk as other instruments I'm investing in, but it's got a special feature. The money goes to helping address climate change. If you know anything about climate change, what's not to like? Let's keep going. The next one. Why issue green bonds? Well, from an issuer, I've covered a bit of that. But first case is you get to pick up new investors. It's a marketing device. There's a whole lot of investors around the world, like you and me, who care about the environment and climate change and would like to have a chance to invest on equivalent risk and yield. That's the first part. You pick them up. You get 10, 50, 68%, whatever, new investors to your book. That's worth gold dust. Now, why else would you issue? Stickiness. KfW, the German development bank, says that investors that buy their green bonds phone them up and say, I really love your green bond. Give me more. Or tell me more. You deepen your relationship with investors. Critical for any kind of intelligent treasurer and treasury. In some cases, you start getting price benefit. Where we see liquid markets, only when we see liquid markets, this is a relatively scarce product. Consistently, the secondary market performance of green bonds in US dollars or euros or even renminbi now is very strong. That is, it's a premium product. And as a result, a whole lot of people are saying, hey, I want to get some of these because they're worth more in my portfolio when I value them because of the secondary market. I'm going to bid tighter at primary. You get downward pressure on primary. That's how issuers are now beginning to see price movement as a result of the really strong performance of these. There's another little really cute thing that came out in research recently by some academics in Germany. There's a correlation between corporates issuing green bonds and a stock price. Can you believe it? I guess investors are saying these guys are better placed to transition to the green economy, less policy risk. Hey, I like this stock as well. Whatever. Come to our conference on the 6th and 7th of March and you'll hear this research. Let me move on. Last one. What are green bonds used for? It started off being dominated by renewable energy. Nowadays, it's kind of everything that's relevant to the transition to a low carbon and climate resilient economy to address environmental challenges. Renewable energy. Green buildings is a big part of it, and energy efficient buildings. Water investments, like Cape Town, challenged by climate change, building water infrastructure to meet the need. That's a resilience sort of bond. There's agricultural investments. There's even a bond out for ICT, would you believe? Broadband. Great argument about how it contributes to reducing emissions in cities. So there's a hell of a lot of stuff. If you want to find out more, look at our climate bonds taxonomy on our website. It'll give you a lot of details. Thanks for joining me.